So right now we have in the studio, after he went through all the security to get in through our underground bunker, because we know they're out to get me. I know they're around. No, I'm just kind of joking. But we have Richard Braithwaite, and Richard Braithwaite has been bringing up Ripley. I'm just talking about Braithwaite, yeah. Richard Ripley, I'm sorry, was talking about the issues that we're having with the bad buses. And now, can you go, take a couple of minutes and let us know what some of the issues are and how they came about, so the people know. Because, if you don't take the bad buses, you don't know the problems. Reading some of the information that you have, I do have some questions. But I want you to go over our studio, who are listening here, and if they have any questions, you certainly can give us a call at 508-822-1106, or ask questions if you're watching through Facebook on Bishop Branches or my feed. Again, so take a couple of minutes. Let us know what's happening and where you feel it's insufficient for the city of Brockton.
Okay, am I speaking loud enough?
Oh, yeah, you're doing fine.
Yeah, you're live.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, this isn't how I thought it was going to go. I wasn't planning on how this is going to go. I was planning on giving this talking, but I'll have to break it up here. Okay, well, first of all, this is started on tomorrow. Yesterday was 1 year since I started addressing this issue. That's when it started, last 1 year ago. 1 year ago. Anyway, I'll just say that the main problem on the bus, not the only problem, but the most common threat on the bus is when you're getting on the bus, even before the door is shut on the bus, the driver is hitting the gas and moving the bus into traffic. And if you're an elderly person like myself, I'm 68 years old and I'm disabled. And when you're stuck holding on with one hand, trying the railings on the bus, and you're trying to put your money in the fare box with your other hand. And I don't know if anyone's ever taken a bus. I mean, I don't know. Many people don't take the bus. I understand that. But when the fare box on the bus, and I'm not exaggerating, the slot where you put your money in is the width of a nickel. And when you're trying to hold on with one hand to stop yourself from falling down on a moving bus, they're hitting the gas, they're hitting the brakes, and you are back and forth, and you're trying to put your money in that little slot. And at the same time, you're trying to pray that the driver doesn't hit the gas or hit the brakes and send you to the floor or flying into the windshield. That's not only illegal, that is extremely dangerous, because there's a yellow line on the floor of the bus where the drivers are not supposed to move that bus until you cross that yellow line. That's Massachusetts law, and that is a federal law. Again, that's not the only problem, but that's the main problem. And I've reported 80 individual incidents, just myself, and I'm just one person. Now, there's 558 buses that leave the BAT Center in downtown Brockton on a Monday through Friday. 558. I'm on one bus. And if I can report 80 incidents going on that one bus, not against me, only 4 of them were against me. The other 76 were against other residents. Just imagine what is going on in those other 557 buses. Unless you believe that I'm unlucky enough to be on the only bus in the whole city where these incidents are occurring. So there's really many, many hundreds, even thousands of incidents that people don't know about. Anyway, I spent months being nice and sending emails, and I begged and pleaded with BAT to please do something. I sent the same emails to Mayor Sullivan. Nobody would listen to me. And also, it needs to be pointed out that Mayor Sullivan is also chairman of BAT's advisory board for Brockton and 8 surrounding communities, which has oversight of safety issues on BAT. So anyway, I spent months doing this. So finally I said to myself, look, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm very concerned about this. I don't want anyone to become a victim like I was 4 times. So I was just enjoying my retirement, having a good time, and I was dragged into the race for mayor. I entered the race for mayor to address the threat. Just to jump ahead, well, the enterprise stated my whole issue Richard Ripley is running for mayor to sound the alarm on bus safety in Brockton. Anyway, to jump ahead, 5 days after I gave a speech at the West Junior High School, the NAACP meet and greet for the candidates running for mayor. 5 days after I gave that speech, where I directly confronted the administration on what was going on. And that speech is on my YouTube channel, Bat Bus Guy. There's 14 videos there. Anyway, 5 days after I directly confronted this administration, I was hoping the mayor would be there, but he refused to show up. I would have said it right to him, because I'm not afraid to speak. I'm not afraid of anyone. I addressed the issue to the administration, and 5 days later, I received a certified letter from the city of Brockton stating that they investigated my concerns. They confirmed my safety threats were real. But they also stated that it is not a city of Brockton issue. It's a BAT issue. I explained to them that it is a city of Brockton issue because BAT Bus Center is located in the heart of the city of Brockton. They drive the streets of the city of Brockton. They pick up innocent people in Brockton, residents, and some of the drivers attempt to threaten their lives. So that makes it a city of Brockton issue, in my opinion. In my opinion, that makes it a city of Brockton issue. Anyway, I went through this over and over again. Finally, there were 3 other investigations. The city did one. The Brockton police did an investigation, all independent. The BAT, of course, did their own. And Massachusetts State Representative Rita Mendez also did an investigation. And each one confirmed that I was telling the truth, that there's a threat on the buses on BAT. Each one confirmed it, but also each one of them refused to address this threat with the people of Brockton. And I do not understand why. I mean, we're in a situation where 4 independent investigations have determined there is a threat. There is a threat. What does it take for the city of Brockton to issue a public statement or some kind of public advisory or some kind of assembly or to set up public meetings to address this? Never once in all this time, in 1 year, has anyone in this administration, at BAT, or in the city hall, or in the 2 state representatives, Rita Mendez or Michelle DuBois, not one of them in all this time has ever addressed this issue with their constituents in Brockton. And I think that is wrong. I mean, what more does it take? You have 4 investigations. Everybody says, yes, it's going on. At what point do you say, okay, let's tell the people who are being threatened every day? That is the problem I'm having. Nobody wants to address this with the people of Brockton. And I wanted to speak now to Jean, Councilor at Large, Davenport.
Before you get into that point, I want to, a couple of questions came up. You said they did an investigation. There was multiple investigations. They all came and said the point you're bringing up is valid.
Yes.
Have they started to initiate any changes to alleviate that problem?
The only thing BAT did, and again, they didn't publicly address it, what they did is they just quietly, they put up some signs on the buses. But the problem is, when you're getting on the bus...
I'm sorry, one more question. I'm sorry, because I want to get to these things.
I want to make it clear.
And because these are the questions that came up when I was listening to some of the YouTube videos you sent me. Has that issue been rectified? Are they waiting for people, and you said other people had the same problem, to put the change in where it's supposed to go and pass the yellow line? Has that changed?
For now, the buses are free for the next few months. So this issue is basically, it's not a huge issue anymore. But there's still aggressive drivers moving the bus before people cross the yellow line. So that is still an issue. But the problem is, BAT quietly put up signs. They never notified anybody. They just did it in the middle of the night. They put signs up. But when you're getting on a bus, you're looking straight ahead at the driver, trying to put your money in. You're not looking down to your left, up there where the signs are, and you can't see the signs. They're not visible when you get on the bus.
No.
That's the problem they're having with them. And what I've suggested is, I'm going to say that later, but I can say it now. What I'm going to suggest is to Mayor Sullivan and to the city council and to BAT. And last year in March, when Mayor Sullivan gave his State of the City address, he stated in his address. He stated that he wanted to give the people of Brockton. Let me get that on my phone here. I'm sorry. He stated that he would initiate a marketing campaign to work with the residents and give them what they need. He stated that it's important to educate the people. He stated that he wanted to give the Brockton's immigrant community the tools they need to assimilate into Brockton. He stated how important public transportation was, and he pledged to improve services. Yet he has done none of that. None of that. And I was going to ask the city at the end of this if they would get together with BAT and the city council and the mayor's office and come up with a campaign to start educating the people of Brockton who take the bus what their rights are on the bus. You have the right to get on the bus without the driver moving the bus and endangering your health. You have the drivers, it's against the law for the driver to move the bus when you get past the yellow line. You have a right to ask the driver to not move that bus if you're unsteady on your feet or you're carrying bags until you find a seat, to not move that bus. See, people don't know this. The people in Brockton are immigrants. They don't know the law. They came to this country
but the thing
and they
is,
don't know the law.
are they, because it's been a long time since I've taken a bus anywhere. But usually I remember, now I understand what you're saying in the middle of getting the money in and getting past the yellow line. But I don't remember a bus that hasn't moved while I was walking to my seat in any places in here or in other states.
Are you talking once you cross that yellow line?
Once I cross it, they're moving the bus.
Well, no, you have to ask. You have to ask the driver not to move it. You have to ask. He's not going to do it automatically. You have to ask. You just say, I'm unsteady on my feet. Please wait till I find a seat. And that's all you have to ask. But I want to point out something else here. Over the last year, I have asked repeatedly Mayor Sullivan, nearly every member of the Brockton City Council, and State Representative Rita Mendez and State Representative Michelle Dubois, one simple, basic question, legitimate, valid question about public safety. Do the people of Brockton have a right to get on a bus safely without the driver illegally moving the bus? Not one of them, elected representatives, will answer that question. And they were elected to represent and serve the people of Brockton. They were not elected to represent and serve the BAT bus company. I think the mayor and everybody else, they're trying to protect BAT. Now, I understand the city needs a bus system. I totally agree with that. But that system must be safe.
Go ahead.
I want to just ask this real quick question around, when we talk about safety, these drivers are given clearly training as with the MBTA. Is it the training policy that the bus remains stopped after patrons get onto the bus? Is that the
if
policy?
They're standing forward in front of the yellow line. When I say forward, see what it is now is when you get on the bus, there's a fare box, and about 2.5 feet past that, there's a yellow line.
Right.
If you're standing in front of that where the fare box is, it's my understanding the driver is not supposed to move the bus.
Okay.
Once you get past it, then you have to ask. Well,
So
please.
I'm raised in Boston, Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapiqua.
Oh, I know what the law is in those cities.
So we get on the MB. I was raised on public transportation. You get on, we put the coin in, or you beep it with your travel card, and you walk. And yes, the buses normally they do that thing where it goes down to get people on, and it goes back up, and they start taking off. And I've never thought of it as being something unsafe. With respect to what you're saying about the elderly, I don't think a driver would start moving if somebody had ambulatory issues.
If they could see they were limping.
I'm going to admit, the last time I was probably on the bus, you were able to advertise cigarettes and liquor. So that's how far back it goes in. But thinking about it, and you mentioned letting the constituents know, I don't remember I ever seen anything on a bus at any time telling me that I had the right to ask them.
What they do is they have when you get on the bus, like I said, you're not looking over there. That's the whole issue. Right. When you get on the bus, there's people behind you. You're trying to get on, and the signs need to be somewhere in your line of vision. They're telling me that the bus, and I'm not lying to you. You look to your left, and that's where the signs are. You can't stop there and hold everything up to look for that sign.
Right. So so when I was chair of the Commission on Diversity, my thing was, with respect to that, one important item, and that is that at the bus stops, we don't have those chairs and that enclosure, many places, for the elderly and the disabled to sit. Yes, sir.
No. We got 5 more minutes. I know you have so much. Well, we took about 10 minutes, a little more, because we started a little late.
My concern, Rich, is that how much of this really is the municipality versus you having a meeting with the board or formally filing an ADA complaint against the BAT bus system? Because it seems to me there needs to be, if these allegations are true, you're saying you have all this backup from these politicians, how come the American Disability Act hasn't been kicked in with respect to...
I don't know anything about the ADA.
Oh, yeah, it was an ADA. Yeah, what you're raising is an ADA.
I'm just going to take a quick second, because I got to do an advertisement. Quick
some
30
notes.
seconds, and we'll be right back.
Let's face it.
You're going to be right back with Stand Up Strong. We have Richard Ripley here talking about the issues of the Bat Bus. We'll be right back after this. Have any questions, let us know. Okay, we're back. You're listening to Stand Up Strong. We had to get that out there. Sorry, we played it a little later than we usually do. But we're back with Richard Ripley. We have some great situations and great conversations today. You mentioned about the buses are moving at the yellow line. One more question I want to get to give you, because I know you have a couple of other issues before we have to talk about other things. And time does go. Honestly, you're wondering, what am I going to say? I mean, we're going to be about 20 minutes, and that's a big segment.
Okay.
But when you think about it, you think about it is, then all of a sudden you start and you go, oh, can I keep 20 minutes going? Well, you've been doing great.
I could keep a couple hours
Yeah,
on this subject.
right.
I know that.
Well, maybe when we get 2 hours one day. But you were bringing it up, so I'm a little confused. Has the situation of the bus moving before they pass the yellow line been resolved, or somewhat resolved, or not at all?
That's very difficult to know, because first of all, I don't take the bus nearly as often as I used to. I used to take the bus a lot when I had my knee problems, but my knee's fine now. So I don't take the bus very often. And I have to understand the problem. Am I talking too loud?
No, you're fine.
What people have to understand in Brockton is the majority of people who ride the bus are immigrants. They're just happy to be in this country. They got food, they got health care, they live a decent life. First of all, they don't know the law. They don't know they have rights on the bus. So when these things happen, they don't know that they have the right to find a seat. They don't know about the yellow line. They don't know about anything. So most people in Brockton right now, including myself until I looked into this, I always thought you get on the bus, the driver moves the bus as soon as you get on, even before the doors are shut. You have to hold on for dear life and hope you don't fall. I used to think, and like the people of Brockton now think, that's just the way it is in the big city on the bus, but it is not. It is illegal, and much more important, is extremely dangerous. So these incidents are not being reported because the people don't know the law. They don't know they have the right to speak up. And even the ones that may know the law, they're scared to speak up. They don't want to speak up to people and speak to management and ask questions. That's the main problem.
Okay. Now, we got a few more minutes. You had another issue, or is that...
Other than BAT.
On BAT.
Can I stay one more on BAT?
Yeah, yes. We got about 3 more minutes, so let's bring it up.
I'll read it fast.
Okay.
It's going a lot faster than I thought. Anyway, I wanted to read you something. This is why I say, people are asking me online, why is this why do you feel this is a dangerous and ongoing issue and continuing to be ongoing if the drivers have been disciplined by BAT? The reason is, first thing I'm going to read to you, this is from John Whitmore. He's the assistant manager of BAT. He stated to me in an email, these are his words, not mine. He stated, I've expressed our apologies and commitments moving forward to ensure that drivers do not lose focus and keep following the laws and policies set in place to keep passengers safe. I've explained our position, and listen to this, what we are allowed to do within the confines of our collective bargaining agreement with the Amalgamated Transit Union. Now, what that means is, he's saying here, we are bending the rule of video review needing to be tied to a specific complaint without being accused of phishing harassment by the union. There's a phishing and harassment clause in the contract. What that means is, if I've been punished by BAT, I'm a driver, and I've been disciplined for driving illegally, threatening passenger safety. If I happen to be driving another bus on any given day, BAT management's hands are tied. They're not allowed to check my behavior, my driving behavior on that bus by the videotapes to see if I'm still driving to endanger public safety. So with that, if you take that further, what that means is, as long as that phishing harassment clause is in that contract, BAT management is not going to be able legally to keep people safe, because they're already bending, John Whitmore states, they're bending the rules in the contract. Mm-hmm. They're bending them to see how far they can go. Now, what's going to happen when the Amalgamated Transit Union comes back and says, hey, You're breaking the contract. You're bending the rules. And then everything goes back to normal. The same crap goes on where they're threatening people's lives. And also, I wanted to say quickly, I know I don't have a few seconds. I want to say this. I have many emails. They're from BAT Operations Manager Kelly Forrester, BAT General Manager Mike Damon, and BAT Assistant General Manager John Whitmore, in which they state in their own words that they have personally spoken with the drivers and have had many meetings and taken other steps to address these safety violations. Yet these illegal, dangerous safety violations continue and continue and continue, week after week, month after month. The drivers don't care. They don't pay attention. I can show you the emails, not right now, but I can show you them when you want to see them. They've had multiple meetings on this, and the drivers don't follow the law. They don't follow the directives of management. That's why this will continue. That's why this will continue being an ongoing safety threat until they address it. Because that clause in that phishing harassment clause is designed to protect the drivers, not the riders or the passengers. The drivers, the bus operators, they don't care about passenger safety. That's written to protect the drivers. And the Amalgamated Transit Union is the most powerful union in North America. You can't fight that. So we're going to be threatened on the buses for as long as that's there.
All right, well, I'm glad you're able to read that. We'll talk about that another day. I certainly want to. I wanted to
switch to the school. If we have time, I don't know.
We don't. But we'll definitely have you on again. I appreciate Richard Ripley coming in and bringing up the issues and let people know what's happening. And this is how we get it out there. The issues, I'm hoping, and I think one of the issues that you had was taken care of, or hopefully it will continue. You have, and that's good because we need people to watch what's happening in Brockton and things going correctly. Richard Ripley, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming in.
And we'll have you on again.
Okay, I mean, I have so much more I want to talk about. I get more time.
Well, that's why we can always have you on another segment. Unfortunately, when you have 15, 20 minutes, you got to get in a certain amount. Come back. We'll talk about it another day.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming in to WBBF Stand Up Strong.